Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Season 2. I'm a little biased because I love this anime very much. It's so wholesome. It's a slice of life kind of one, even though it's an isekai. There's not much in like battle conflicts and things like that. It's just a day-to-day life of him preparing and consuming different meals with monster meat. What I do love that they did with this season, they added a dragon familiar. Not just any dragon, a little pixie dragon. Why did I think that was the most adorable thing to do? There seems to be a lot of dragons kind of being a theme in a lot of animes I seem to be watching lately, but it's okay because I love dragons. I love the fact that he's always making new things. We're not seeing repetitiveness. We're not seeing the same recipes. We're always seeing different recipes, even though he's using some of the same kind of meat ingredients, but he's using them in different ways with different plates. I'll be honest, a lot of them look very delicious, and the fact that they're based off of real recipes, you can kind of look them up. Obviously, you're not gonna have monster meat, but you can make them with the meat that you want. I do love the other characters they added. The elf guy was kind of annoying, but I didn't feel like he was annoying. He just had that major obsession with dragons. It took him so long to become a master in it, and then he couldn't find that one dragon. So the fact that he gets to see dragons now, thanks to Makoto and his crew, it's like a dream come true for this guy. It's kind of sad that he's a guild master and he can't really do much because he has to do paperwork. I love the fact that they added that kind of character into it, so that way it kind of takes away and it's another interesting character that we can watch and see how he is, especially like his intrigue. And that funny part about it is like he thinks he has all this experience and knowledge with dragons, and the fact that the little pixie dragon doesn't talk to him but he can talk to Makoto because he's the familiar master. Yeah, and he's like trying to like feed him things or perch him on this weird branch thing, and this poor little pixie dragon's like, we don't care about that, we don't eat that, or like, we like it but it isn't the specific thing we like. So I thought that was interesting aspect to bring. I wish it was a little bit more of that, so that way we can kind of see like how the books that people are reading over there and what they're learning about dragons, which could also pertain to other creatures, is not actually true. The fact that Makoto has so many familiars that people have not been around with or familiar with, the things that people know or have read in books, potentially and most likely incorrect. And it would be just kind of cool to see like the comparison and contrast between what people kind of learned and know to what the truth is, because the familiars can tell him like yes and no kind of parts. We're still not with the 3 original people that were summoned, because from season 1 it was the 4 of them. It was these 3 high school kids and Makoto, who was the salaryman that was sent to this world, but they all got better skills than he did, but he never found out or kind of mentioned what his was until later on that he finds out it's the shopping online, which I think is the best thing to have in another world. So you can have the comforts of home in this whole nother world, and it still just feels amazing to be in this other world, comfortable, living a carefree life and having the comforts, particularly food comforts, and some other ones that he gets like pots and plates and stuff like that he seems to talk about. But yes, it kind of makes it feel like being in an isekai world, which is a complete fantasy world, a little bit less daunting and more comfortable to be in. And thanks to his familiars, he has an exorbitant amount of money, so he can buy whatever he wants because he has unlimited funds, but he still knows how to manage it, which is the good part. But I like the fact that he still keeps it a secret because he knows not too many people should know about it. It's just not something people need to know. So the other 3 people, he hasn't run into them yet, which I find very good because I feel like they'll say too much or make a big deal about it or just be too bothersome for him and his crew. I'm glad that they're keeping those 3 people away, even though we sometimes see them as like an end, kind of at the end of the credits, where I get a little sneak peek of where they are and how they're eating crap food because they basically made fun of him and pushed him out. So because they weren't like, oh yeah, like come with us, like no, he's one of us, like we'll just take him with us, blah blah blah, like they were just very annoying teenagers that were like, they called us here to help, so I want to help, and he's the only smart one being like, yeah, something's fishy here, not gonna help him. He's like, I'd rather just go and figure out life from here since they can't send me back. So I don't think those 3 idiots deserve to benefit anything from Makoto. They can go suffer being heroes. Meanwhile, Makoto's being the biggest hero out of everybody because everywhere he goes, the guild masters need his help to destroy monsters and stuff because he's got the most powerful familiars around him. And mind you, it's just not only that, it's the food that he feeds them combined with like his skills for cooking. They want to stay around him, they want to be around him, and he cares for them, generally cares for them, not just because they're powerful creatures and stuff. My only thing I would like to see him him kind of do is to level up a little bit in his fighting abilities. Just a little. I know that's not the concept of it. I just kind of want to see him level up a little bit. It just seems like his familiars are trying so badly to get him to level up, because Fel tries to get him into dungeons, teach him. I do feel like Fel isn't just doing it to be mean. Like, he does want him to be stronger, and I don't think he's just doing it because he wants to have a strong master. It's more he wants him to be able to take care of himself, because a lot of times he has to leave and hunt and all that stuff, and I feel like Fel's kind of treating him almost like a kid, where he's like, I need to teach him how to protect himself and to fight and to get his own kind of food. But I don't think Fel's doing it in a mean way, because obviously he doesn't want to leave him. He wants to continue eating the foods, but I think it's just more he was doing it for him, to kind of like give him something back, even though he's doing a lot already. Sui is just the most adorable little creature. Like, he keeps growing every season, but like not physically in that way, but like he keeps growing in power and strength, and he's like the only slime that apparently can do this, and that's thanks to mainly the foods that Makoto is feeding him from the other world. Part of it has to do with like the supplies he's eating, because he's eating like the cardboard, the plastic, and other plates and stuff. I do feel bad for the dragon because he doesn't like his name, because he calls him Dorchan. It's very evident the dragon hates it, but the name was already set, which is kind of mean, since like Fel was okay with his name, Sui was okay with his name, but Dorchan doesn't get to like his name, so whenever people call him by it, he hates it. And I feel like that's a little sad. Like, he should be able to like the name he's given for the time that he's going to be with Makoto. I mean, he could have just been like, all right, fine, I guess I'll take that name, and it still would have been a little bit less like, oh, I feel bad, he has a name that he absolutely hates. But I feel like maybe over time, like, he'll just like it and we'll miss it one day, I guess, because I don't think it sounds bad. The fact that the character themselves don't like it is what for me is like, oh. I'm excited for season 3, because now he has to return back to the previous town he was just at to visit the guild master, the crazy elf guy, so that he can get some more dragons prepared. As he promised him, any dragons that he finds, he would bring back to him so that he can study it and potentially try the meat, I guess, of this new dragon, because I know he was excited to try the meat of the first one, so to try the meat of the second one would just be equivalent to that. I do like the fact that Dorchan does say it's not cannibalism that he's eating another dragon, because they're different species. So I like the fact that he clarified it at one point, because I was thinking the same thing, like, isn't that kind of cannibalism? But no, it's not. I am excited to see how he goes back to the first town where he first appeared, because he has to meet the merchant that he gave like shampoo and soap to, so he can sell other things too, because he has to pick up some other material that he left him preparing for him, that now it's ready. So I'm excited to see how all that turns out for him. He's going to be visiting friends with new companions, so it's a kind of like a whole reunion kind of situation, of like a whole full circle. Once again, I'm just so hoping that he doesn't run into those 3 idiots. That would just kind of make the story have to full circle end, because I feel like those idiots would just try to monopolize on what he has going on with his crew and how he has such a simple life going. Honestly, he can just continue the rest of his human life with them the way that they are. He just needs to get a little bit stronger and not be involved in any kind of wars or political things. He could just be continuing what he's doing. But I feel like at some point he has to prove the other 3 wrong, so they're going to have to meet. They're going to have to, you know, have some situations that Makoto's going to prove himself that, oh, you should have kept me around, because guess what? My skills are actually needed. I was brought here for a purpose. I wasn't just accidentally brought here, the way that they made him feel. I'm also intrigued to see like how everything plays out with the gods, because we were introduced to 2 new gods. For a moment I was thinking it was getting a little annoying with just the females. Aren't there any male gods? Feels like season 2 answered that question. They definitely brought in the 2 guys that were able to give different kinds of abilities and have a different perspective. Females would ask for certain things and the guys would ask for something different, which is exactly what they did. So it was interesting to see how they were treating him and like giving him abilities that he wasn't asking for, because they want him to level up. And that was another interesting thing, that even though like he has the online shopping, he leveled up and opened up another shop, which is like a sweet shop. I didn't even think that was going to happen. So it's always intriguing to see when that happens and what other shops he can get, because I know he's going to want to get more options and more things to buy. So I love the fact that the show, even though it has its own theme of simply cooking specifically monster meat, it's still progressing and the story is interesting still. I do look forward to season 3. I just hope it doesn't take too long for that to happen, because I know they put a lot of the effort and emphasis on the cooking scenes. Definitely don't take away from that, animators, because we need that to still be amazing. I watch the show mainly for the cooking. I sometimes realize I'm a bit of a fatty patty.